Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the first episode of Heart to Heart, where we sit and just get a little wacky, a little goofy, and talk about games and movies, new and old. But today we're going to be talking about Spider-Man: No Way Home. I think for Spider-Man movies, this is probably the best you're going to get. If you're a Spider-Man fan or a Marvel fan, you're going to love this movie. I always get conflicted with Marvel movies because like a lot of people just don't like them. So when I think about rating a Marvel movie, it's like, well, not everyone's going to go into this movie and like it. A lot of people aren't going to go see it just for the fact that it is a Marvel movie. But I think that this movie is it's just a good movie. Had me all over the place emotionally. Like I cried like twice. I sat there weeping. My buddy beside me, the whole time he's like, oh my God. I think that it was really well written. And one of my most favorite parts were just the characters interacting with each other. I'm going to try to keep this as spoiler free as possible, but if there is any spoilers, they're going to be a big red spoiler flash before it comes, just to at least let you know. Well, in the trailers, which I don't like the way Marvel does I don't like the way Marvel advertises. Don't like how they do their trailers. They always put in the most climactic scene every time. Like, I don't want to see that stuff. I try to stay away from the trailers as much as possible. But it starts off a lot heavier, could be a word. I would just say it starts off with a bang. Like, it starts off, hits the ground running, right from where the last movie left off. And I really liked how the opening shot, he picks up MJ, Spider-Man picks up MJ, and they're swinging, and it's like right in their face. It's very personal, and it's very shaky, showing how chaotic the moment is and how they're just trying to get out and go wherever they can. And it shows kind of how the world reacts to finding out who's really under the mask. And it's not good. They don't react well at all. Yeah, and then there's a spoiler, so I'm not going to talk about that. They do a good job of showing you how serious the situation is for Peter and how far he's willing to go to change it. Like, he's willing to go so far as to go to Doctor Strange and do some crazy like amnesia thing or whatever, just make everyone forget, and then it ends up going wrong, and that's how all these multiverses get opened up. And then that's when you boom Doc Ock, boom Green Goblin. And those are all in the trailers, so that's a spoiler. Okay, let's talk about the villains for a second then. I really liked the dynamic of all of the villains. I think that Willem Dafoe absolutely killed it, literally terrifying. Man can't do wrong. God, they showcased him really well, and the Green Goblin really well. Alfred Molina, again, does really well with his split personality. Really nice to see him back. The lizard guy basically did nothing. I don't even know. Who is he again? Dr. Connors. He was kind of just there. He had a couple good one-liners. Sandman became the comic relief. He was just funny. Like, I thought he was just cracking jokes left, right, and center. And there's this funny scene between him and Electrode. Electrode's like, I fell into a vat of eels, electric eels. And Sandman's like, I fell into superconductor or whatever. Electrode's like, damn, gotta watch where you're falling. I don't know, it was just funny. Yeah, their dynamic was funny. It just seemed like whenever they were around, they were really quick and quick-witted, and that's where I was talking about where I think it was written really well, because all the characters just flowed really nicely into each other. The villains also, they don't give you their whole backstory. Like, they don't give them the whole origin again. They do quick little lines of give you context of how they got there and what happened in their universe to get them into this universe, to give you a little more context of them without having to go into like a half-hour backstory for each individual character. They all had their own chance to be their own big bad villain in a way. But obviously the main villains are Doc Ock and Green Goblin, which is fair. Those are the most favorite. I wouldn't really expect it any other way, even though they give Electrode they flesh him out a little more. I liked him. I think Jamie Foxx did a really good job with that character. Yeah, my favorite parts are just spoilers, so I can't really get into it. There is an after credits and a second after credits? And it's going to be really interesting to see where they go with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Like, he just ends this movie like a whole different person. He really makes the ultimate choice as a Spider-Man. He makes the ultimate sacrifice, I think, while somehow redeeming everyone, saving everyone, and at like a crazy cosmic level too, not just strictly New York City. I really liked seeing Spider-Man not in a city. I know that in the second movie they did that, but there was a shot of him swinging from like hydropole to hydropole with all these like wires and stuff like hanging, and he's like swinging. Beautiful shot. I really like the cinematography in this movie. Yeah, they just did a really good job at Spider-Man in this one. Like if you think about all of the other Spider-Man movies, it was like all of the other ones in the first movie, that was like their origin story. And then the character got fleshed out in the second one and the third one for the original, like Tobey Maguire's. But in this movie, it's like all the trilogy, the Spider-Man Tom Holland trilogy, it's like that was the origin story. And now it's just beginning for him. So I'm excited to see where they go with that character in the future. In the end of it all, I think that it's safe to say that we can give this movie a 90% or 9 hearts. I was debating on giving it higher. For a while, I even thought, man, this is like a full health bar. This is 100%. But I can't in good conscience give this movie any higher than 90 anymore after sitting on it for a couple days and really thinking about it. But 90%, definitely. You're a Marvel fan, you're a Spider-Man fan, you're going to love this movie. And yeah, that's about it. See ya.